All right, we are now entering into our Halloween project. Um, you're going to have 2 days to work on a freelance project, which means you could pretty much do anything you want to do um, as long as you meet the requirements of rubric. We'll go over the rubric and I'll show you some examples. Um, if you don't like Halloween, you could make it Thanksgiving, you could make it fall-like, just something to do with this time of year. I thought Halloween would be fun. So there's a couple housekeeping things. On Schoology, you're going to find a link for scary sounds. You're going to find the rubric, and you're going to find the place to turn in your projects when you're done. Okay, so let's go over the rubric, because it's very important that you meet the requirements of the rubric, because that's how your project is going to be graded. All right. So your program should have a Halloween or fall theme, and it's going to include the following programming concepts. You have a lot of creative freedom in this project. Just keep in mind the overall purpose is to demonstrate these control features and to make your scene make sense. It's just not random stuff just thrown in there. You want to make a little story. Remember, you are the director. After you're done, you're going to submit your project on Schoology, all right? And you're also going to turn in this rubric. So the very first thing is you have a storyboard. On the back of this rubric, you're going to put your name. There's 4 places for 4 scenes. A minimum of 4 scenes for your rubric. This is just a planning document, trying to get the creative juices flowing. What are you going to do? If halfway through your project you decide to do something else, you do not have to go back and change your storyboard. All right, so let's look at some of the other things. Control structures. These are do in order, do together, all right? So let's go over to Alice in your thing. Basically these are do in orders, right? Do togethers, you got to have at least 4 of these. Now, if you want a nested one, which is the next thing, nested, one block inside of another. Nesting is basically, let's say you had a do together inside a do in order and a do in order inside a do together. These blocks are nested, and this is an example of nesting. All right, let's do the next one. You got to do comments. All right, comments is the double green. All right, so this is Mr. Yeager's project. This area demonstrates the rubric requirements. So you're going to have comments all over the place saying, what does the code do? You might have a cemetery scene, or a scary gate scene, or ghost scene, or trick-or-treating scene. You would explain what's happening with comments. All right? Comments, that's plural. That means more than one. All right, include comments everywhere. Dynamic move. All right? We don't want to use a move to. We want to move toward. And I'll show you an example of that. Let's put a body in here. All right, so we'll just grab it here. I'll grab a old body. I'll do a boar and a camel because it's convenient. So I'm gonna have boar. Boar is gonna, if you want it to go towards something, you always want to do turn to face. So I'm gonna do turn to face, camel, and then boar move forward. Pick me up. Then we're going to go to distance 2, boar, distance 2, camel. And then of course we want to subtract out. So -1 We want the bore's depth, and we want that divided by 2. And then we also want to add to that the camel's width. Camel width divided by 2. So when this wax, he's going to turn and he's going to go to it, but he doesn't run into it. This is a move towards. All right? So this line here is the anti-collision. You got to use this at least once. All right? Dynamic moves. Anti-collision, so this is a twofer. Get both of those. All right, so we get if statements. So let's go back over here and show you an if statement. So then we do an if statement. All right, make it true. All right, so if bore distance, all right, let's go to the world and get some inequality symbols. All right. If A, we'll just pick in some numbers. So bore distance to camel, entire camel, is greater than 1, then we're going to do this. All right? So if the distance is greater than 1, this executes. So let's try it. Oh, it's greater than 1, so he did it. So this is an if statement. All right? What's the next one? If this state, all right, inequality. In my if statement, I used a greater than, so that does that too. Now here's a loop. Go over here and show a loop. So here's a loop. Choose 2 or more. I'm going to have the bore move up 0.5 meter, and then make copy. Then he's going to move so up, down. All right, so after he goes there, up, down, up, down. Okay. Now, of course, these examples don't make any sense when it comes to a Halloween theme. So I don't want to see a camel, and I don't want to see a boar, and I don't want to see my identical code used in your project. If you do, you just won't get credit for it. All right, these are examples of loops, if statements, inequality symbols, and dynamic moves. All right. Use fog. Let me show you how to use fog. All right, so if we want a fog scene, we click on the world, we go to properties, fog style. I'd use distance, and you could change its intensity. Let's do like 0.3. So it kind of looks foggy in the distance, or you could use density. Density now is, you got to keep it very low, otherwise it's too thick. All right, see, it's kind of foggy, so you got to use fog. So world, properties, fog style, density, and change fog density to somewhere between something under 0.1. All right, so that's fog. Vehicle 2, make someone grab something. All right, so in this case, if I want right here, after he's gone up and down, right before here, I'm going to make the camel vehicle 2, the boar, the entire boar. Then when this happens, you notice that the boar is going to go up, and the camel go up and down with the boar because he's vehicle to it. All right? So vehicle 2, you do the target, get vehicle 2, drag it over, and then attach it to what you want it to be attached to. All right, next one. Vehicle 2, creativity. Make it make sense, all right? And it's got to be turned in by the end of class on October 30th. All right, how to get a sound. Let's put in a sound. All right, so over in Schoology, I've given you this link. Click on the link. This is a pretty good sound area. We're going to pick a sound, any one of these sounds that makes sense. Okay, so here's a sound. You get the three little dots. Click on the three little dots and you download it. All right, so it's going to download. Go back to Alice. And then somewhere in your here, we're going to make bore play sound. Play sound. I'm going to put it right there. Then I'm going to import the sound. I'm going to navigate to my downloads. Where are they? I guess I gotta go find my sound. All right, where'd my sound go? Oh, there's my sound. So I'm gonna put it on the desktop. All right, so I'm gonna go back to Alice. Bore, play sound. Import the sound. How come it won't find it? All right, so hopefully it'll be able to find yours. And then you import it, all right? Mine's just having a little difficulty right now in the middle of so I'm gonna play that sound, all right? So then when this plays, it goes up there, goes up and down, up once, down, up, down, and then it plays the sound that you imported. All right, so that's pretty much all the points you can get. Sound is extra credit, and you don't have to do that. All right. Email me any questions you have. You have 2 days for this project. Let me show you where all the Halloween stuff is. Go to Add Objects. Let's go up a level. Go all the way to the right. Over here under Spooky, you have caskets, you have gates, you have ghosts, you have a haunted house, you have a skeleton, you have tombstones, and you have zombies. All right? So have fun, and make sure you meet the rubric requirements.